Well, alright. Before we begin, I just want to point out that I checked the Daily Motions, and you know how last review I said that this was hopefully the last time that I would have to review an MLP episode on my DVD? I was wrong. As it turns out, that Daily Motion does not have today's episode, but will have the next episode. But before we can do that, we have to get... I'm sorry if I sound a little bit tired. I just didn't sleep well last night, so excuse me if I sound a little drowsy during this review. Anyways, it's time to get into the third episode, Castle Sweet Castle. Let's do it. So this episode starts out with Fluttershy and Twilight basically trying to help clean up some animals, as we see that they're all... Oh, wait. But Twilight is a little reluctant, and...
Oh no, Angel got dirty. I better stay longer to help give him a bath too.
Oh. You know, I would feel bad about the animal cruelty, but let's just say I haven't exactly forgiven Angel and his behavior in putting in your hoof down, so... Yeah, I'm actually really glad. I'm not trying to encourage harm to animals, but given how spiteful Angel has been throughout the series, let's just say that karma has finally caught up with him. And naturally, Twilight wants to stay, while Fluttershy seems a little suspicious. And... Are you sure all day? Because judging by the opening shot after the theme song, it almost seems like Twilight has been there the entire night.
Not that we don't appreciate it, isn't that right?
Well, you kind of deserved it, Angel. But it seems that Twilight is still reluctant to leave. But Twilight, it seems to be more reluctant until...
No, the castle's fine. But maybe I'd better see if Pinkie Pie needs help with the pancakes.
And then Angel closes the door.
Angel?
First of all, I just want to point out, how exactly did Angel close the door? All he did was he hopped back inside and the door just closed by itself. Does Angel have psychic powers? And if so, it seems that Angel still hasn't learned his lesson. I really hope that you step on the Lego brick in the middle of the night, you little prick. So we actually cut to Twilight's castle next morning, as the main stick has the infamous It's Pancake scene, where, as everybody knows, the breakfast has become a meme, but it seems that Twilight's friends, after complimenting on the pancake, and the others then discuss of how, let's just say that Twilight has been a little bit active lately.
She was letting her husband eat out Lakers the other day and stuck around till near midnight. Dug up 50 breathing holes, and all I needed was 10.
Well, to be fair, I usually stay up till midnight from the time that I've been here, because all my classes start at 10, so I get a few extra hours of sleep. But, yeah, it is kind of strange of how Twilight is able to have all that work without actually, you know, not falling over from lack of food and dehydration, and just kept going for 12 to 20 hours of straight work.
She spent an entire afternoon rearranging a single gem drawer at the boutique. An entire afternoon! You think that's weird? Raped me like 100 times the other day. And more every time. She just kept going. Then to the 20, then to the 100.
Well, to be fair, the only thing that could probably happen during all those races is that at least Twilight's flying has gotten better since the season 4 premiere. But then again, he probably knew how to fly since the season 4 finale. But hey, credit where credit is due.
Hanging out with me is awesome, but it was like she'd rather keep losing than leave. Yeah, who said that?
And as I said before, this episode is where one or two memes have been sparked in this episode. The most infamous one is when Twilight falls over flat on her face and uses the pancake surprise as a pillow. No. Or rather, I think it was her standing up before falling over, but either way, I think it'd probably be nice if... Whoa.
Some pony was avoiding something, actually. As soon as she wakes up, we're going to find out what.
And it seems that Pinky got the measuring spoon.
Huh? I'm Pancake. Wait.
And the pancake on her horn, another meme's been born. And then the rest of the main six talk to Twilight of how, let's just say, busy she's been in lately.
Wouldn't you like be avoiding something else? Does it mean that I'll be? The thing is, I know it's silly, but I've been avoiding.
And of course, Twilight reveals that she's been avoiding the castle because it doesn't seem like home, because this picked up from the story of the season 4 finale where, you know, Sheriff destroyed the Golden Oak Library, and okay, that was a funny moment, but I just want to take the time to point out that I'm actually glad they actually picked up on this, because when I saw Equestria Girls Rainbow Rocks from the segment that we were in Equestria, it almost seemed like Twilight was kind of too into the new castle. Like, after having a home for 4 seasons, suddenly destroyed in the blink of an eye, and then suddenly getting used to it in the span of one movie, or rather, like, 5 minutes of one movie, it almost seemed like too obvious. Seemed like she got over it really quickly, but I'm actually glad this episode picks up the fact that she actually does miss the Golden Oak Library, and the castle doesn't really seem to feel like home, so kudos there.
Okay, I get it. The castle is amazing, but it doesn't feel like home. Oh, is that all? Why don't you decorate some? Make this place your own.
So the other members of the main six offer to try to help Twilight basically. So the main six offer to help redecorate the castle, while Rarity offers Twilight to go to the spa, considering how God knows how long Twilight's been working with the other, she's kind of a mess. Or you could have just said what you said in James Pony's play and how Cadence's hair looks like a porcupine. But then again, her hair was nothing like a porcupine's face. But, do what you gotta do.
Oh, I guess I do need a little help. And so does my castle. And I just know you'll do a great job because no pony knows me better than you. We'll make this place feel cozier than hot cider on a rainy day. There's gonna be cider!
And in case you're wondering, no, the rainbow cider joke is not going to end. Which gives me the time to say this. Go home, Rainbow. You're drunk.
Let's decorate! Oh, no. Did I miss the pancake?
Well, then again, you are a baby dragon, so you're kind of contradicting yourselves. And Rarity also...
I need to get my claws done. Oh, now.
Yeah.
Come on, y'all. We've got work to do.
Okay, I'm actually going to stop this just for a second because so basically Rarity asked Spike to take Twilight to the spa as basically a way to help her stall her. And I'm going to skip to the next scene because, you know, of my past history. Anyways, what I basically skipped was the entire song, Make This Castle Feel Like Home. I'm sure I'm saying the title wrong, but then again, I don't really have time to look up. Where, honestly, this is honestly one of the weaker songs of the series. It's not bad, but honestly, it almost seems like the lyrics are being held for too long. It still has the same upbeat as Art the Dress, so it is easy to get into, but as many other reviewers pointed out, the lyrics have much to be desired. And by the end, and before the commercial break, by the time the song ends, the other members of the main six basically clutter the corridor with everything that they're interested and not everything of what Twilight wants. And everybody tries to hide the fact that it's not very good.
Fluttershy, I love that you brought so many animals.
I only see 4.
I prefer to think of them as every pony's trophies, but with my name permanently etched onto them. My, I forgot bringing the outdoors inside. Earthy. What about the touch? Are these books vintage?
Nope, just old. Unlike your sparkly window doohickeys which are...
They're supposed to be diamonds.
No one said anything about my hidden cassette cannon. Oh wait, they're hidden.
Hey guys.
But thankfully, Spike returns and actually using his bluntness it to be something great for once, he points out of how awful the room looks. Oh. So I will actually give this episode another credit that it doesn't go for another liar reveal trope where everybody tries to hide how awful it is. A little. And it turns into a madhouse. Cheat. Well, I guess that's one way to get a crowded room's attention. So yeah, so I will say that Spike's bluntness is actually kind of useful for once. It's just a shame that we could probably get more use out of him aside from being a punching bag, after all he went through last season, but hey, it's only early in the season. So yeah, the other members of the main six realized that the job they did was pretty bad. Start over. So Rarity basically flirts with Spike to basically convince her to stall Twilight, convince him to stall Twilight a little more longer until they can figure out what exactly they have to do. And he's still not over it.
Right. So why doesn't everybody take one of their own decorations out and we'll see how it looks?
So basically we cut the Twilight blowout as we get another meme. And Twilight's hair. Though I have heard that this meme hasn't exactly lasted longer compared to the other meme I mentioned. But it is a nice hairstyle, though we only see this type of hairstyle for one scene. But it seems that Twilight must have have had a lot of relaxing time in a few hours. It makes me wonder how she managed to get God knows how many hours of sleep back in just one afternoon of being at the spa.
More importantly, how does the castle look?
And Spike remembers to basically try to stall.
Great! I mean, no!
And we do sadly get a little bit of Spike torturement.
Why do we have a massage? I was really
Compared to Angel's torturement, Spike is honestly a little bit uncalled for because he wants...
Yep. I think I'll just have a traditional massage, but you go for it. Did some pony order massages?
Let's do this, little dragon!
Apparently both biceps...
When he does that, come with me, princess.
Let's just see how well that goes for Spike. And just as predicted, it seems that it's mostly Rarity has a hard time just removing just one of the decorations.
No, not that. Anything but that. How about me? Oh, but those brighten up the whole room. They're my favorite accent. And let's close the curtains. The room wouldn't need brightening if they weren't making it so dark. Not that.
Which is pretty much... Which makes me wonder how exactly they managed to convince Rarity to get rid of one thing if she just plans on keeping everything in the room.
They're my favorite too. They can't all be your favorite. Okay, I'm taking down the portrait. We already know what we look like.
Personally, I think it's a good portrait, but surprisingly they don't have it.
Still looks a bit closer, doesn't it?
And Rarity manages to take down the Wonderbolt's poster just despite Rainbow Dash.
Okay, every pony calm down. I'm sure we can find a way to remove the clutter again.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Hey, those are my warming quilts.
Together.
And they're only doing this to spite each other. And ultimately, even before the second commercial break, everybody just gets rid of everything they have, and the castle is pretty much back to normal, of which they haven't made any progress whatsoever. Nice plan there.
What do we do? What do we do?
And Pinkie Pie pretty much explains the entire dilemma they're facing right now.
What we did wrong so we can make it right.
Well, I didn't do anything wrong. I did exactly what I was doing. This was my home. But it's not your home. It's Twilight's home. Where she keeps all the Rainbow Dash trophies. Touché. Maybe we're all a little guilty thinking ourselves to a home instead of Twilight.
Come on, y'all. We just need to think about Twilight. What was it she loved about living in the Golden Oak Library?
Oh, everything. The books, the smell of books, the joy she felt from organizing books.
And the joy of reading books.
All those books attempting my Sonic Rainbow after you guys just cleaned up.
Ah, good times.
That was good times.
I literally just said that.
Oh, and Applejack. Remember when we were stuck having a sleepover there? That turned out to be so much fun.
Except for the part where Applejack forced you to go out into the rain and Rarity forced you to wear that Diana princess dress. And you guys bickered the entire night until a tree came crashing down.
Remember the time it got blown out of the smithereens?
Pinkie, too soon.
Wait, no, that was the worst.
We had a lot of good memories there, though. That's what made the Golden Oak Library home.
Yeah.
So as soon as they realized of what Twilight thought of the Golden Library they wanted to be like home, so we cut back to the Spike, who again continues to stall and wants to
Oh, thank goodness. I thought
by stopping by the mattress store.
let's find a sales pony and get out of here. Sounds good to me.
Oh, damn. Okay, there's actually an important scene I actually kind of skipped by accident. And apparently on the way back, Twilight and Spike stop by the Golden Oak Library as you basically discover that the destruction of the Golden Oak Library actually left an impact on Spike too, because it was his home as well. And it's actually really a nice emotional moment to know that it's not just Twilight who's been affected by the loss of their home, and Spike has also been affected by this as well. Unfortunately, I wish I could have shown that scene, but I just assumed that it was going to skip over to everybody just deorganizing everything, so that was my bad. And of course, Rarity once again asked Spike to stop.
Did you hear that?
How exactly...
Maybe my plan won't work after all.
Of course it will, darling. I can see it. You and Fluttershy stay here. Rainbow Dash and City Party. You come with me. We're going shopping. We'll meet back at town.
Alright. So we go through a little montage of them basically digging up what's left of the Golden Oak Library to come up with something new. As we go through a little montage and reprise of Make This Castle Feel Like Home. Again, I might be getting the title wrong, but I don't know. I will say, as I said, the reprise is honestly the same as the first time I felt about the first time they sung it, of which the beat is nice, but the lyrics leave a lot to be desired. As Twilight and Spike finally return home, this, to their delight, feel like nothing.
You did such a good job of preserving the integrity of the original design. Oh, come on! It looks exactly the same. You know how hard it was to keep her from coming back here? I never want to see another dust ruffle as long as I live. Wait, keep me from coming back here?
And once again, Spike's bluntness pretty much almost ruins everything. Just like Angel, I hope you step on a Lego brick in the middle of the night. And trust me, there's a certain episode about Spike we're going to get to later, but let's listen to the lesson.
The memories you make when you're there.
So, we made something that celebrates the memories you've made with you since you moved to Ponyville.
And it seems that the others actually did do something, and above the cutie map, they actually had as the roots of what was left of the Golden Oak Library, and left a bunch of crystals of all the memories that Twilight made from the past 4 seasons.
We were hoping that we'd be able to look at your beautiful old memories and inspire you to make new ones.
And the best part of it is, it's made from the roots of the Golden Oak Library, so you'll never forget where you came from.
It's exactly what the castle is.
And this is a really good lesson to learn, is that even though there are some things that you may lose, as long as you retain the fond memories that you have to create new memories, it's a good way to move forward. So this was actually a pretty good lesson to go out on, and I really appreciate it for it. Or they could be macaroons.
It's a little harsh,
But we do discover that the other members of the main 6 might have kept one thing they have that does relate to Twilight.
It was just begging for the personal touch.
Truth be told, I couldn't either. Your kitchen might have some rustic farm decor, Twilight.
And there may or may not be some daring do posters up in your library. And some stuffed animals in your bedroom. What was that?
One of Pinkie Pie's confetti cannons.
Why? Not my fault I hit them so well.
And it makes me wonder if those hidden confetti cans ever show up again, but how much do you want to bet that Twilight eventually discovers those hidden confetti cans and removes them from the home for the rest of the series? Because we never see them again from this point forward. And the episode ends with everybody laughing and having a good time. And that was Castle Sweet Castle, and on its own, it's a decent episode. I mean, oh Jesus, I think maybe maybe my thoughts on this episode now it's decent is that it does teach a very good moral that, yes, it is sad that you will lose a home, but when you do, you will remember all the fond memories you have, and you can create new memories to keep moving forward. And the humor was definitely decent in some certain times. So I will give it that, and plus it does also let us know that Twilight is affected the loss of her home and not just basically shoved in there for 5 minutes of a movie. And we do also get to see that the loss of the Golden Oak Library does impact Spike as well, and not just Twilight. Right? And it's nice that the main six do try to help, but they did tend conflict with each other what they wanted rather what Twilight wants, but they did work together to make it up in the end. However, what kind of pulls this episode back from honestly being good is the fact that, as I said before, the song of the episode, both versions, while it does have a nice instrumentals, the lyrics of both times they're being sung leave much to be desired. And on top of that, some of the jokes really don't hit their mark, and Spike is not very utilized all that well in this episode, aside from one moment, and the torture section with both biceps was probably not the best. But aside from that, it was honestly a decent episode, but honestly nothing really to write home about. So as a whole, I pretty much give Castle Sweet Castle a B-. It probably would have gotten a C+, but honestly, given how much of a great impact the lessons teach, I think it definitely keeps it there. So yeah, decent episode, but nothing to write home about. So Castle Sweet Castle is a B-. And hopefully this will be the last time I will have to review in this type of format, and hopefully next time I can go back to reviewing the episodes on my laptop, so there can be certain segments of the episode I can actually skip instead of skipping out important scenes like I just did in today's episode. So, I'm Flickhan Gamer, and next time I will see you on Bloom and Gloom. See ya.